Your credit score is 700. You apply for the card and you still got denied. Here's what nobody tells you. You don't have one credit score. You have three. One at each bureau, and the bank didn't pull the one you were looking at. They pulled the one with the old collection you forgot about, or the thin little report that drags the others down. There's a community tracked map of which bank leans on which bureau, so you can stop applying blind on the exact report where you're weakest. Let me show you how to read it and where it lies to you. Hey, I'm Flo, and this is the Credit to Capital Blueprint, where we turn personal credit into real business funding. New here, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because this is the stuff the banks don't hand you a manual for. Okay, let's get into it. So first, how does a 700 get denied? Because 700 was one report. You've got three: Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. There are three separate companies and they do not carry the same information. A collection agency might report to one and not the other two. A late payment might show up on TransUnion and be missing from Experian. A credit card you've had for 10 years might report to two bureaus and skip the third entirely. So on that third report, your history looks way thinner than it really is. Now stack those into a score. Same person, three different reports, three different scores. It's completely normal for them to be 30, 40, even 50 points apart. So when you say my score is 700, which one? Because the bank is only going to look at one of them. And if they pull the one with the junk on it, that's the number that decides your application, not your best one, the one they happen to pull. That's the whole game. It's not that your credit is bad, it's that you let the bank choose which version of you they judge. This video is about taking that choice back. Okay, so which bank pulls which? Here's the part people actually came for, and I want to be straight with you about where this comes from. There is no official list. Banks don't publish this. What we have is a community tracked map. Years of people reporting, I applied here in this state and they pulled this bureau. It's really good directional info. It is not a guarantee. Say it with me. Verify your card's current pull before you rely on it, because this stuff changes. With that said, here's the lay of the land for the big issuers. American Express leans Experian in most states. Barclays leans TransUnion, and it's one of the most consistent of the bunch. Discover leans Experian. Chase, this one's all over the place. Experian in a lot of states, but plenty of Equifax and TransUnion too, and often more than one. Chase is the least predictable. Bank of America leans TransUnion. So yeah, everyone pulls Experian is a myth. Experian is the most common single pull, but it is nowhere near universal. And here's what the map lies to you, so burn these in. 1. Capital One. Assume Cap 1 pulls all three. They're famous for it. Heavy on Equifax, but they'll grab TransUnion and Experian too. If your plan is I'll protect my weak bureau, Cap 1 doesn't let you. Plan for a triple pull there. 2. Your state changes everything. The same bank pulls different bureaus in different states. Florida is the worst. In Florida, a lot of issuers just pull all three, so the whole target one bureau game barely works there. So it's never Chase pulls Experian, it's Chase tends to pull Experian in my state. Let me confirm. 3. It's a tendency, not a lot. Even when a bank leans one way, they can pull two. The map tells you the most likely bureau to protect. It doesn't promise they only touch that one. Now here's the trap that burns the most people, and it's the one I really need you to hear. You go do a pre-qualification. It's a soft pull, no damage, and it shows you a score. Great, but that score you're looking at, it's almost always a VantageScore. And here's the thing, most banks don't approve you on a VantageScore. They approve you on a FICO score, usually a different one, sometimes a different bureau. So you can be sitting there going, my Experian is 720, I'm golden. and that 720 is a VantageScore, and the bank pulls your FICO off a different report and it says something else entirely. Two different scorecards. That's why people who have great credit still get surprised. Match the bureau, sure, but know they're grading you on a different ruler than the one the free app showed you. And there's one more prequal trap, and this one's community reported, so I'm going to say it carefully. Some prequal tools, they run on a shared piece of software behind the scenes, have a step that says something like, we just need a little more information. And people have reported that hitting submit on that step quietly turns the soft pull into a hard pull on all three bureaus at once. 3 inquiries when you thought you were still just window shopping. I can't verify every case of that, so here's the rule that keeps you safe no matter what. The moment a prequal asks for your full social security number, your income, and it's got a little box about authorizing a full credit check, that is not a soft pull anymore. That's an application. Treat it like one. Read the button before you click it. See your offer is one thing. Apply or authorize a full report is a completely different thing. Slow down right there. Alright, so how do you actually use this? 3 moves. Move 1. Pull your 3 reports and find your weak one. Before you apply for anything, look at all 3. Which one has the collection, the late, the thin history? That's a report you want banks to avoid. You can't target a bureau if you don't know which of yours is dragging. Move 2. Match the application to the map. Want a card? Pick the issuer that tends to pull the bureau you're strong on in your state. If your Experian is clean and your TransUnion has an old collection, you lean toward the Experian pullers and you steer clear of the TransUnion pullers. And you assume Capital One pulls everything. Move 3. The advanced one. Freeze the other 2. You can freeze the 2 bureaus you don't want touched. So if a bank tries to pull one of them, it just can't. That can force a pull onto your strong report. Here's the catch nobody mentions on the freeze move. If the bank only tries a bureau you're frozen, they can just deny you instead of switching. And some banks pull more than one anyway. So it's a real tool, but it can backfire. Use it when you know the bank's tendency cold, not as a blind default. Here's the whole thing in one picture. Say your reports are Experian clean at 720, TransUnion dragging at 660 because of one old collection. You want a travel card. Instead of applying blind, where you might hit a TransUnion puller and get judged on the 660, you check the map. You pick an issuer that leans Experian in your state. You make sure it's not Capital One, and you confirm the current pull. Same you, same day. But now the bank is looking at the 720, not the 660. That's not a hack. That's just refusing to apply blind. One honest note on the stakes. A single wrong pull isn't a catastrophe. It's a few points and it fades in about a year. Where this really pays off is when you're applying to several cards close together, or when one of your 3 reports is a lot weaker than the others. That's when picking the right bureau is the difference between approved and denied. If you've been getting denied with a score, you thought it was fine. Now you know. It was never 1 score, it was 3, and you were letting the bank pick which one to judge. Stop applying blind. Pull your 3, find your weak one, use the map. Here's your next step. Before you go bureau hunting, find out what's actually blocking you, because sometimes it's not the bureau, it's utilization or an old late or a thin file. I built a free tool that tells you your number 1 blocker in about 90 seconds. Comment the word score and I'll send you the link, or tap it in my bio. Do that first. No point targeting a bureau if the real problem is something else. And I made you a free starter map. The major issuers, which one leans on which bureau, the whole method links waiting for you. Fair warning though, that's the starter version. The deep stuff, the credit union map where some of them read a completely different score, the trick where even the same bank pulls a different bureau depending on which card you pick, your personalized which bureau do I protect read. That's what I go through with the email list and when you reply audit. So grab the free one, then get on the list because that's where the real map lives. This content is for educational purposes only. Always follow up with your own research before making any financial decision. Pool behavior is community reported and changes. Verify before you rely on it. Keep that momentum. I'll see you in the next one.